Well, Kalyani Steels, that's the stock on our radar. Remember, yesterday the stock was up more than 15%. They have been declared a successful bidder for the acquisition of assets of Kamineni Steel for a consideration of around 450 crore rupees. Mr. R.K. Goyal, the MD of Kalyani Steel, joins us on the show. Well, Mr. Goyal, first of all, good morning and congratulations. I think for the last 10 years or so, whenever you have joined, we ask you, Mr. Goyal, what are you doing with this cash? Good to see finally you're utilizing this cash in your books. So give us that detail first up. What is the last recorded cash balance? And all of this, I guess, will be funded via the cash in the books itself. And what is the additional capex you need to incur for this unit that you have acquired?
Good morning. Thank you, Nigel. And thanks for your good memory that you remember, I think, almost all my interviews. That's really great. You know, finally, we could get a very good quality asset. It's the quality of asset which we have gone for. It is a melt shop. So all the other equipments we need to set up, we are working out. And we are largely thinking of producing green steel in this plant. And yes, the production we can start immediately, but then we need to have balancing equipments related to rolling and others, because this plant was set up to produce crude steel for manufacturing seamless tubes and other things. So now we are already working on it, and it will take some time by the time we are able to crystallize our thinking and go for expansion.
Okay, and the last updated cash balance was around 600 crores. Net cash is what we're talking about as of the last recorded number in your books.
You're absolutely right. In fact, you track our balances much better than what we do on daily basis. We had 600 crore free cash. Definitely, we can take out much more cash, which we have deployed in working capital and all, and various other places. So we can take out much more money from our books.
Okay, all right. And you said that this unit is already running. So if you could help us out with some financials, is it profitable? Is it making a EBITDA profit? And do you have to put in any more money, sir?
No, I'm sorry. This unit has hardly run in 13, 14 or around that time. Last 8-9 years, it is totally closed. But it's an extremely good quality asset. We have to restart it. But it is just a melt shop. We have to restart with by setting up a rolling mill and all, which will take us some time. Meanwhile, we are working with some of our key customers in Europe and US, what they would like us in green steel specifically, and we'll be producing largely green steel. And as of now, this will be one of the largest investment by Kalyani in green steel. Beside 250,000, which we are already producing in India, in our Pune plant, the first green steel plant and the only one as of date, and producing the one of the lowest embedded CO2 in the steel in the world.
So what is the kind of money that you will be spending for this? How much capex are you going to be putting to work, sir?
It will be fairly large, but we are still in the process of restructuring about the size range and about the product specifications and all. But definitely, you know, typically a plant of this size will cost anything between 5,000 to 6,000 crore.
5,000-6,000 crores. All right, got it. I want to ask you a little bit more about demand, because, you know, auto demand has picked up in a big way, especially the premium end of the segment. Have you been able to revise any of your contracts? And can you just tell us what is the demand situation now? How much could it grow over the next couple of, next, say, 12 to 18 months?
You see, let's talk of 10 years for India. Nobody invests in steel for 12 to 18 months. The project will not be ready, will not be producing in 12 to 18 months. Now, as far as India is concerned, the type of opportunities available in India, it is tremendous, and it is going to multiply. Look at the situation in Europe. I don't think steel manufacturing in Europe is viable. Steel manufacturing in US will also not be viable unless they keep on having some trade barriers in one way or other. As far as China is concerned, India has an edge over them, and people prefer to deal with us as compared to any other country, including China. So we are seeing a very large potential in Europe, US, and all the large automotive majors and industrial product manufacturers, industrial equipment manufacturers, whether it is in energy, oil and gas. So we'll be producing steel for very large portion of it for non-auto applications also. And that's where we see a very large growth for India. As far as the auto part is concerned, auto industry is growing in India, particularly cars, passenger vehicles and all, and the growth will happen much more. The confidence of the people in the country, in the government has gone up after the results of last 5 states, and it is going to help the industry, the investment sentiment much better.
Okay, all right. Mr. Goyal, we get the green steel part, we get the big 10-year horizon, the political stability in India, but we want to know more about your company. So please help us out with that. The last recorded capacity is 2.5 lakh tons, as you said. Now you're adding this billet capacity, but as you said, it's only a melt shop. You'll have to add rolling as well over here. So say in the next 3-4 years, what does Kalyani Steel want to do? You had told us in the past you want to be a full-fledged steel plant. Is that plan still on the cards? Tell us what will your capacity be, say in the next 3 to 4 years, and what is the capex you'll have to incur?
You see, total capacity, if we run the melt shop the way it is, will be at least 0.36 million ton, incremental. Right? But we are going to improve the productivity by debottlenecking and all. We are still working on that. So I'm sure it will be definitely much more than that. As far as the capex part is concerned, it is the total structuring of the plant, including the finishing facilities, component facilities, heat treatment facilities and all. We are working on it, but it will be in the range of 5,000 crore plus.
5,000 crores will be the total capex that you'll be incurring. Got it. And can we assume that by FY27, say, Kalyani Steel will be a 1 million ton steel plant? Is that a fair assumption? Because you'll be debottlenecking here. You already have 250,000.
I'm not, we are working on this time frame. 27, 28 is a good idea, but we are still working on it. Maybe we'll be able to prepone a little bit.
So 27, 28, you'll be at around 1 million tons?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so that clears it out of the way. A few days ago, we had Mr. Kalyani himself who was speaking to Shreen Ban, and they were talking about Bharat Forge's revenues going up to, to 20,000 crores odd. How much of your revenues comes in from group companies? And do you see this as a big opportunity? Because if, Bharat Forge is going to be surging in terms of revenues, it could be more business for you.
Absolutely, you are right. Currently, we are supplying around 50% of our capacity to the group. And I'm sure more than that we will be doing in time to come, the way Bharat Forge is even growing.
Okay, all right. Since you're in silent period, we'll chat with you post your numbers. But final question, the auto contracts were revised upwards. That's what I understand from the industry. How much of a price increase did you get? Tell us the quantum and tell us the period as well. Is it a monthly? Is it a half yearly? Is it a quarterly?
We could get from some, but not all. With others, we are still negotiating. We are discussing with them. And it definitely starts from 1st of October.
Got it. I missed that, sir. What was the number? What is the quantum that you've got for those that have come on board?
Actually, it depends on the grade, but it is sizable.
Sizable, sir. Quantify it. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. What is it?
You will force a number out of me. It is more than 3,000.
More than 3,000, and how much of, if I had to put a percentage to the total number of clients that you have?
It's difficult to say because it will depend on how much quantity we are able to supply to those vendors and all, but it is sizable.
Okay, all right. Sir, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for joining us and answering all of those questions. Appreciate your time here.